My dear friend, an invisible reality is at work around you at this very moment. There are forces you cannot see, and worlds beyond your physical reach where battles between good and evil profoundly influence your life here. A silent wisdom needs to touch your heart. Since before your birth, your destiny and paths have been written in the great book of existence. However, they are also subject to invisible tests and challenges. Humans cannot be fully aware of the eternal plans unfolding in the universe, but I am here to reveal something essential to you. Archangel Michael is your powerful guardian, always defending you. With his flaming sword, he cuts the spiritual chains that try to limit your steps and eliminates the shadows that try to approach you. We live in times when negative forces seek loopholes to interfere with our journey. These forces are cunning. They don't reveal themselves clearly and frighteningly, but rather whisper subtle doubts, fears, and deceptions. They are presences camouflaged in routine, in daily life, and in smiles that hide murky intentions. Therefore, it is urgent that you strengthen your mind and spirit, and become an impenetrable warrior of light. Do not be disarmed by the pleasant appearance of what may be a shadow. Learn to discern the signs of the invisible, and seek divine help in prayer. Therein lies the key to opening the doors of true protection. Archangel Michael, a heavenly messenger, invites you to raise your voice in supplication and praise. In communion, you will find your unshakable shield. There is a constant conflict between the forces of light and darkness, and you do not have to bear the fight alone. Though you may feel alone at times, a heavenly army is fighting invisibly for your peace and safety. These angels wage war against the enemy's traps so that you may walk without fear, protected by the Creator's invisible hand. However, this protection comes with one non-negotiable condition: your choice. Free will is the most precious gift we have. However, it can also open doors to evil if you stray from the path of light. Every decision you make and every act of love, faith, and truth strengthens your soul and your entire spiritual protection. However, every act of disobedience and every departure from the truth acts as an opening for attacks from darkness. When you make the divine word your armor, your resistance against the shadows becomes impenetrable. The Bible, or the holy book of your faith, is more than a text. It is a sharp sword that cuts through the illusions and lies the enemy seeks to plant in your heart. Combine this with fervent prayer and spiritual retreat, and you will have the weapons you need for any invisible war. Today, I want you to write in the comments, "No evil shall befall me, for I am protected by the light of the angels." As you write it, you will summon an ancient protective energy, creating an invisible field that will repel any evil trying to approach you. Feel this force surrounding you right now. Remember, it's not just the visible enemies you must be wary of. Every negative thought and doubt can be a gateway to darkness. Keep your heart steady and your mind clear. Filter what you receive from people and your surroundings. Not every kind word is sincere, and not every person's company nourishes your spirit. If at any time you feel hurt, angry, or resentful, surrender those feelings to the light of compassion and understanding. These are the vulnerabilities the enemy wants to exploit to destabilize you. Free yourself from these invisible bonds and let peace take their place. Remember that you are not alone. Archangel Michael is constantly by your side with his powerful presence, protecting you with his shining shield and defending your journey against any attack from dark forces. Faith in him is your greatest shield and your purest prayer, the sword that will win any battle. Do not underestimate the power of your spiritual connection, because when you align with the light, you become a channel of peace and protection for yourself and those around you. The war is real, but victory is assured for those who walk with courage and unwavering faith. Now repeat this mantra after me and write it in the comments. I now activate my spiritual protection shield. May these words ignite your field of light and repel all negativity from your life. Feel your protection grow with each word. Follow each step of this message carefully, because what I am about to reveal has the power to transform your spiritual journey, taking you to a new level of awareness and personal security. The truth I need to share with you today is that there are people around you who do not have your best interests at heart. Some of these people may be very close to you, perhaps even family members, co-workers, or friends. They carry an energy that does not match the light you need to thrive. Archangel Michael wants you to know this so you can properly protect yourself. They may not be working against you consciously, but their negative energy, thoughts of envy, jealousy, and competition create a heavy atmosphere that can drain your vital energy. When you are in their presence, you may feel inexplicably tired, experience a heaviness in your chest, or feel an urge to suddenly leave the room. Your spirit is trying to alert you to these harmful influences. Spiritual enemies use these people as channels to sow discord, confusion, and discouragement in your life. They may plant doubts about your dreams, criticize your achievements, or find something negative to say about your decisions. They are masters at disguising their intentions with phrases such as, "I'm just warning you," or "It's for your own good." But behind these words is an energy that wants to diminish you. To protect yourself from these influences, it is essential that you develop spiritual discernment. Pay attention to how you feel before, during, and after spending time with certain people. Pay attention to the words they use, the topics they bring up, and their overall energy. Archangel Michael will give you clear signs through your intuition, so trust that inner voice that alerts you to situations and people who are not beneficial. Now, write in the comments, "My energy is sacred, and no evil has power over me." This statement creates a powerful energetic barrier around you, preventing negative vibrations from entering your aura and affecting your spiritual, emotional, and physical well-being. In addition to toxic people, there are environments charged with negativity that can affect your spiritual state. These include places where there is a lot of arguing, where people constantly speak ill of others, where addictions are present, and where rituals that do not glorify the divine light are practiced. You should avoid these environments or frequent them with extreme spiritual protection. If you cannot completely avoid these environments, perhaps for professional or family reasons, it is essential that you prepare yourself spiritually before entering them. Say a prayer for protection, visualize a golden light surrounding your entire being, and ask Archangel Michael to be your invisible shield while you are there. The enemy also works through objects and symbols that carry negative energy. These can be family heirlooms with dark histories, gifts given with malicious intent, decorative objects related to death or the occult, or clothes that belong to people with heavy energies. These items can serve as anchor points for negative influences in your home. It is important to periodically cleanse your home energetically by removing anything that does not resonate with peace and light. Replace them with symbols of faith, plants that purify the environment, crystals that raise the vibration, and objects that bring you joy and hope. Your home should be a sanctuary of peace, a place where you feel completely safe and protected. If this message touches your heart, consider supporting this channel with a gesture of light by clicking "Thank you very much." Your support helps keep this mission of delivering words that heal and awaken alive. Archangel Michael also wants to remind you of the importance of protecting your mind from the negative content we consume daily. Media that glorifies violence, hatred, fear, or despair, such as movies, music, books, television shows, and internet content, can gradually contaminate your thoughts and lower your spiritual vibration. Be selective about what you allow into your mind. Choose entertainment that uplifts your spirit, teaches you something positive, or simply brings you peace and joy. Your mind is like a garden. If you plant seeds of light, you will reap the fruit of peace. If you plant seeds of darkness, you will reap anxiety and turmoil. Before we continue, write in the comments, "Where light dwells, no shadow remains." This powerful statement establishes your home, mind, and heart as territories of light where darkness has no power. Similarly, it is crucial to protect your words because they have immense creative power. Avoid talking about problems, illnesses, failures, or fears as if they are permanent realities. Instead, declare the blessings you want to see manifested in your life daily. Your words are spiritual decrees that the universe takes as instructions. Aligning your thoughts, words, and actions with the divine light creates an almost impenetrable spiritual fortress. Archangel Michael works through this coherence between your inner and outer worlds, multiplying your protection and opening paths of blessing that seemed impossible before. There is a spiritual reality that few truly understand. Your departed ancestors continue to watch over you from the spiritual dimension. I'm not referring to communicating with the dead or practices that violate divine principles. Rather, I'm talking about the biblical truth that there's a great cloud of witnesses surrounding us, cheering for our victory and interceding for our protection. Your ancestors who walked in the light honored God and departed in peace can serve as divine instruments, warning you of impending dangers and guiding you in important decisions. Seeing from an expanded spiritual perspective, they can influence situations in your favor or send warning signs when you are heading down a dangerous path with divine permission. Archangel Michael works with these blessed presences to create an almost unbreakable network of protection around you. Honoring the memory of those who departed in the light, praying for their souls, and following the good examples they left behind strengthens this beneficial spiritual connection. Sometimes, you may sense a gentle presence, smell a familiar scent with no physical explanation, feel a comforting presence, or have vivid dreams featuring loved ones who have passed on. These may be signs that your spiritual lineage is working on your behalf, guiding your steps, and protecting your path. However, it is essential to discern between these beneficial influences and spiritual presences that may not have good intentions. Not all spiritual manifestations come from the light. The enemy can exploit our longing and love for the deceased to deceive us with false apparitions or messages that lead us astray. The golden rule is this: all genuinely divine spiritual communication or signs bring peace, hope, courage, and guidance toward goodness. If something causes fear, confusion, or despair, or asks you to act against divine principles, it does not come from the true light. Write in the comments, "I am guided, protected, and strengthened by the angels of good." This statement opens a direct channel with benevolent heavenly forces and establishes a spiritual filter that allows only positive influences into your life. Archangel Michael wants you to know that you have a specific purpose in life, a unique mission that only you can fulfill. This purpose was written into your spiritual DNA before your birth. All of your experiences, both joyful and painful, have shaped the character and skills necessary for this mission. The difficulties you have faced are not punishments or accidents of fate, but spiritual training to strengthen and prepare you for something greater. Each disappointment has taught you resilience, each loss detachment from temporal things, each betrayal discernment, and each moment of loneliness the importance of connection with the divine. You are now entering a phase in which your purpose will become clearer. You will notice certain doors opening easily, the right people appearing in your life at the right time, and opportunities arising as if the universe were conspiring in your favor. This is not a coincidence. It is Archangel Michael preparing the ground for your mission to manifest. For this to happen, you must free yourself from old patterns that no longer serve your higher purpose. This includes relationships that drain your energy, habits that lower your vibration, fears that limit your actions, and limiting beliefs about your own worth and ability. Letting go can be uncomfortable at first because it requires stepping out of your comfort zone and facing truths about yourself and your life that you may have avoided. But remember, every birth involves pain before joy. Every butterfly must break free from its cocoon to fly. Write in the comments, "The light that guides me is stronger than any darkness." This mantra will strengthen your courage to make the necessary changes and fill your heart with the certainty that you have the power to overcome any obstacle. Archangel Michael also wants to remind you of the importance of protecting your energy during this time of transition. As you grow spiritually, you may attract the attention of forces that want you to remain mediocre. These forces may send people to discourage you, create situations to test you, or present temptations to lead you astray. Stay steadfast on your spiritual journey. Establish a prayer and meditation routine that you will not negotiate. Surround yourself only with people who support your growth and who share the same spiritual aspirations as you. Nourish your spirit with uplifting reading material, music that uplifts your soul, and activities that nurture your connection with the divine. Remember that you are a warrior of light in human form. Your sensitivity, compassion, and developed intuition are all powerful spiritual weapons that Archangel Michael has given you to fulfill your mission on this earth. Do not diminish these qualities by trying to fit into worldly patterns that do not recognize your spiritual value. Many people do not recognize a specific type of spiritual attack through dreams. While you sleep, your conscious mind relaxes, making your soul more receptive to spiritual influences, both positive and negative. The enemy knows this vulnerability and often tries to exploit it by planting seeds of fear, confusion, or discouragement in your subconscious through your dreams. If you have been experiencing recurring nightmares or disturbing dreams that leave you feeling distressed when you wake up, or dreams in which you see yourself in dangerous, unsuccessful, or humiliating situations, this may be a sign that negative forces are trying to influence your mind while you sleep. These are not figments of your imagination. They are actual attempts at spiritual manipulation. Archangel Michael has authority over the realm of dreams and can completely protect you if you ask for his intervention. Before going to sleep, say a prayer asking for protection of your dreams and for only messages of light and divine guidance to reach you during your rest. Another powerful practice is to anoint your forehead and wrists with consecrated oil, asking that it be a seal of protection over your mind and dreams. If you don't have consecrated oil, use olive oil blessed through sincere prayer. Write in the comments, "I am protected by invisible forces working on my behalf." This affirmation creates an energetic barrier that protects your dreams and your entire sleep experience, ensuring that you wake up feeling refreshed and strengthened. Another crucial aspect of spiritual protection is understanding how the enemy uses modern technology to infiltrate negative influences into our lives. The electronic devices we use daily can channel energies of which we are not consciously aware, but which affect our spiritual vibration. Be selective about the content you consume on social media, television, and the internet. What you see and hear, even briefly, leaves an impression on your subconscious. Images of violence, fear-generating news, and music with lyrics that glorify destructive behavior can gradually lower your vibration and make you more vulnerable to spiritual attacks. Set aside time to disconnect from technology and connect with your inner silence. During these times, practice contemplative prayer or meditation on scriptures. Simply remaining silent allows Archangel Michael to renew your spiritual energy. Food also plays an important role in your spiritual protection. Processed foods full of chemicals and artificial additives can make your physical body denser and less receptive to higher spiritual vibrations. Similarly, excessive alcohol consumption or use of other mind-altering substances can open portals to negative influences. Try eating natural, fresh foods prepared with love and gratitude. Bless your food before eating, giving thanks for the nourishment it provides your body, the temple of your spirit. Drink plenty of pure water, and consider periodic spiritual fasts to purify your body and spirit. If you feel that this message resonates with you, please support this work by clicking "Thank you." This gesture, however small it may seem, helps us continue spreading these messages of light to those who need them most. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that your voice has creative power. The words you speak are spiritual decrees that shape your reality, not just sounds in the air. When you speak blessings over your life, health, family, and future, you release divine creative power to manifest those blessings. Conversely, when you constantly talk about problems, difficulties, fears, and failures, you inadvertently empower these negative realities to manifest more strongly in your experience. Your words are like seeds planted in spiritual soil. They will grow and produce fruit according to their nature. Begin each day by declaring spiritual truths about your life. I am protected by divine love. Paths of blessing open before me. My family is covered by heavenly peace, and my work prospers and blesses others. These statements are not just positive thinking. They align with the divine will for your life. Write in the comments, "My heart is light, and no evil can stand in the presence of this vibration." This statement sets your energetic frequency to pure light, which makes it impossible for any negative force to remain in your presence or influence your life. It is also important to learn how to break generational curses that may affect your family. Negative patterns such as poverty, illness, destructive relationships, and addictions are often passed down from generation to generation, not only because of genetics or upbringing, but also because of unresolved spiritual issues. You have the spiritual authority to break these negative chains and establish new patterns of blessings for your family. through specific prayers, forgiveness of ancestors who may have opened doors to evil, and declarations of new realities based on divine promises, you can break negative cycles and initiate cycles of blessing. Archangel Michael is ready to help you in this process of generational deliverance. He can cut the spiritual cords connecting you to destructive family patterns and establish new bonds with your divine inheritance. One of the most powerful tools Archangel Michael has given you is the power of genuine gratitude. When you develop a grateful heart, you emit a high vibrational frequency that makes it virtually impossible for negative forces to approach you. Gratitude is not just a nice feeling, it is a spiritual force that can transform your reality. Instead of asking for things each day, start by giving thanks for the blessings you already have. Be thankful for the air you breathe, the life pulsing through your veins, the roof over your head, the people who love you, the opportunities you've had, and the difficulties that have made you stronger. This daily practice of gratitude builds a powerful energy shield around you. Ingratitude, on the other hand, is one of the quickest ways for negativity to enter your life. When you focus on what you lack, what went wrong, or what others have that you want, you inadvertently lower your vibration and become an easy target for destructive influences. Archangel Michael sees your heart and knows when your gratitude is sincere. He responds to hearts filled with genuine gratitude by multiplying blessings and opening doors that seemed impossible. But remember, gratitude must be genuine, not a manipulative technique to acquire more possessions. Write in the comments, "I am invincible when I connect with the light of the heavens." This statement will activate your connection to heavenly power and establish your identity as an undefeatable warrior of light. Another fundamental aspect of spiritual protection is learning to use fasting as a spiritual weapon. Fasting is more than abstaining from food. It strengthens your spirit, clarifies your mind, and increases your sensitivity to spiritual things. When you fast with a spiritual purpose, you declare that spiritual things are more important than temporary physical needs. During this time, your physical body calms down, allowing your soul to become more receptive to the divine voice and the presence of angels. This is a time when you can receive important revelations and specific guidance for your life, as well as a deep renewal of your spiritual strength. Archangel Michael can communicate with you more clearly during these periods of consecration. Begin by skipping one meal a week and dedicating that time to prayer and meditation. Gradually, as you feel guided, you can extend these periods. Always consult a doctor if you have health conditions that may be affected by fasting. Music also has immense spiritual power that can be used for protection and upliftment. Music with positive spiritual content, hymns of praise and worship, or soft instrumental music, can raise your vibration and create an atmosphere in which angels can manifest. Conversely, music with violent or depressing lyrics, or lyrics that glorify destructive behavior, can open portals to negative influences in your life. Be selective about the music you allow into your ears and heart. Your home should echo with sounds that honor the divine and uplift the spirit. Set aside time each day to listen to spiritual music while you pray or meditate. You will be amazed at how it can transform the atmosphere of your home and your heart. Archangel Michael rejoices when you use music as a form of worship and communion with the divine. Write in the comments, "The presence of angels surrounds me and keeps me safe in all my ways." This affirmation calls upon angelic protection for every step you take, every decision you make, and every path you choose. It's also important to understand the power of confession and genuine repentance. Unconfessed guilt, hidden shame, and unrepentant sins create vulnerable spots in your spiritual armor, leaving you open to attack. The enemy can use these unresolved areas to attack you with accusations, condemnation, and despair. Confession is more than admitting mistakes. It is a process of spiritual cleansing that removes stains from your soul and restores your clear connection with the divine. When you genuinely repent and confess your mistakes to the Creator, not only does He forgive you, but He also completely removes the spiritual stain as if it never existed. Don't let pride prevent you from seeking this kind of spiritual cleansing. We all make mistakes and fail to live up to divine standards. The difference between those who thrive spiritually and those who remain stagnant lies in having the humility to recognize these flaws and seek restoration. Archangel Michael works best through clean and transparent hearts. When you keep your conscience clear, through regular confession and sincere repentance, you create a clear channel for divine guidance to flow into your life. Remember that forgiveness, both giving and receiving, is one of the most important keys to spiritual freedom. Holding grudges, bitterness, or resentment towards someone creates spiritual chains that bind you to that person and the painful situation. Forgiveness does not mean accepting harmful behavior or allowing toxic people to continue hurting you. It means releasing the emotional and spiritual baggage you carry about the situation, surrendering justice to the divine, and freeing your heart to love and trust again. The most powerful spiritual reality you need to understand is that your authority as a child of light is absolute when exercised correctly. Archangel Michael does not fight your battles as if he were your servant. He fights alongside you as your heavenly partner, amplifying the spiritual power that resides within you through your divine connection. Many people live as victims of circumstance, waiting for someone or something outside themselves to rescue them from their difficulties. However, the truth is that you were created in the image of the divine, with the authority to rule over the spiritual forces that seek to dominate you. When you understand and exercise that authority, things in your life change dramatically. This authority is not based on personal strength, intelligence, or human ability. Rather, it is based on your identity as a beloved child of the Creator and your union with heavenly forces. When you speak with spiritual authority and declare God's will over situations and people, you exercise a power that transcends physical limitations. However, this authority only works when you are aligned with divine purposes. You cannot use it to manipulate others, gain selfish advantages, or satisfy desires that go against the greater good. It operates through a pure heart that genuinely seeks divine glory and the well-being of all involved. Write in the comments, "Evil does not touch those who live in the light of truth." By doing so, you establish your spiritual position as someone who walks in divine truth and is therefore protected from all forms of evil and deception. Archangel Michael wants to teach you how to use your voice as a spiritual weapon. When you declare divine promises with faith and conviction, you release creative power in the spiritual realm. These declarations are spiritual decrees that move angels to action and force darkness to retreat. They are not just positive words. Learn to declare, "No weapon formed against me shall prosper. All my ways are ordained by the divine. My family is protected by heavenly light, and my work prospers and blesses many lives." Speak these truths with conviction and visualize them manifesting in your reality. It's important to understand the difference between having faith and exercising faith. Having faith is a mental and emotional state in which you believe in positive possibilities. Exercising faith means acting on that belief by taking practical steps that demonstrate your confidence in divine intervention. When you pray for protection but live in fear, you have faith but are not exercising it. Similarly, when you ask for provision but take no practical action to improve your situation, you have faith but are not exercising it. Archangel Michael works through active faith, which combines belief with courageous action. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to feel if it's time to click the thank you button below. Your support helps us continue bringing words of light and healing to the lives of those who need them. Another crucial dimension of spiritual protection is understanding how your intimate relationships affect your spiritual vulnerability. When you form a close bond with someone, whether through marriage, a deep friendship, or a business partnership, you share not only physical and emotional experiences, but also create spiritual connections that can profoundly affect your life. If your partner, spouse, or close friend engages in negative spiritual practices, destructive addictions, or patterns of thinking and behavior that contradict the divine light, these influences can affect you through the spiritual connection you share. This is why the Bible warns against being unequally yoked with unbelievers. This does not mean that you should abandon loved ones who are on different paths. Rather, it means you should be extra vigilant about protecting your spiritual energy when you are around them and pray fervently for their deliverance and transformation. Archangel Michael can help you cut negative spiritual cords that may have formed through toxic relationships in the past. Even after distancing yourself from harmful people, you may still be spiritually connected to them in ways that affect your life. Through specific prayers and by breaking spiritual ties in the name of divine authority, you can free yourself completely from these residual influences. This is especially important if you have had close relationships with people who practice the occult, struggled with severe addictions, or were abusive. Write in the comments, "I receive the light, peace, and protection that are rightfully mine." This affirmation reclaims your spiritual inheritance and establishes your divine right to protection and peace, regardless of what others may have tried to steal from you. Finally, Archangel Michael wants to remind you that you are being prepared not only to be protected, but also to become a protector of others. As you grow in spiritual strength and wisdom, you will naturally become a beacon of light for people going through the same struggles you have overcome. Your journey of protection and spiritual growth is not just for your personal benefit. It's part of a larger plan in which you become an instrument of liberation and healing for others who need the same light you've received. Keep your heart open to opportunities to serve and help others on their journeys. We have arrived at the most powerful moment of this revelation, where everything comes together, and your journey of spiritual protection transforms into a life of purpose and victory. Archangel Michael wants you to know that all that you have experienced up to this point, every pain, every disappointment, every lonely moment, and every victory, has prepared you for this spiritual awakening. You are not a victim of circumstances nor an accident of fate. You are a warrior of light, strategically placed in this time and place to fulfill a specific mission. The spiritual battles you have faced were not meant to destroy you, but to strengthen and prepare you to help others still struggling with the same issues you have already overcome. Everyone who tried to bring you down, every seemingly impossible situation, and every moment when you considered giving up have served to develop your spiritual resilience and deep compassion, which you can now use to liberate others. Your scars have become your credentials to provide healing. Archangel Michael reveals that there is an invisible network of warriors of light scattered throughout the world. People like you who have undergone processes of purification and spiritual strengthening and are now being activated for a greater mission. You are part of this spiritual family, even if you have never met its other members in person. When you walk in your spiritual authority, you automatically strengthen other members of this network. When you declare victory over the darkness in your life, you contribute to the collective victory of light over the entire planet. Your personal journey of liberation is part of a much larger spiritual movement. Write in the comments, "With every step I take, the angels steady the ground beneath my feet." This acknowledges that you are not alone. With every courageous decision you make and every step of faith you take, the heavenly realm mobilizes to support and confirm your journey. Now, Archangel Michael wants to equip you with strategies to maintain and expand your spiritual protection and influence as a light bearer. First, establish a prayer altar in your home, a sacred space dedicated exclusively to communion with the divine. It can be simple, a small table with a Bible, a candle, and a place to kneel. This space will become your spiritual headquarters, the place where you will connect daily with heavenly forces, receive guidance for the day, and intercede for those in need of deliverance. Archangel Michael will regularly visit this space, bringing revelations and specific strategies for your life and mission. Second, develop the habit of interceding, praying not only for your own needs, but also for others. When you pray for those who are suffering, lost, or under attack from darkness, you become a channel through which divine power can flow into their lives. This multiplies your own protection and blessings. Third, learn to fast strategically before making important decisions, facing difficult situations, or when you feel you need greater spiritual clarity. Fasting opens spiritual dimensions that would otherwise remain closed, allowing you to receive supernatural wisdom and discernment. The watchword that Archangel Michael leaves you with is, "Arise and shine." Your light has been hidden for too long. Your doubts, fears, and insecurities have kept your true spiritual identity in the background. Now is the time to fully embrace who you were created to be. Stop hiding behind social masks that do not reflect your true spiritual nature. Don't diminish your gifts and talents to make others feel comfortable. Stop accepting relationships and situations that do not honor the light within you. It's time to live authentically as a child of light. Write in the comments, "Truth, light, and protection accompany me every day." This is your personal decree of victory and your declaration that you have chosen to permanently live under divine protection and radiate light wherever you go. Archangel Michael wants you to know that there will be times when your faith and determination will be tested. Don't be alarmed when this happens. These are opportunities to prove to yourself and the spiritual realm how strong you have become. Each test you overcome will elevate you to a new level of spiritual authority. When you face these challenges, remember everything you have learned from this message. Use your spiritual weapons, the spoken word of faith, fervent prayer, strategic fasting, worship that transforms the atmosphere, and the authority you have as a child of the Creator. Finally, remember that your journey doesn't end with your own deliverance and protection. You now have the sacred responsibility to be a beacon for those still lost in darkness. Share your light through words of encouragement, acts of kindness, prayers of intercession, and by setting an example with your transformed life. Write in the comments, "I am at peace, I am in the light, I am protected." Let this be your daily confession and constant reminder of who you are and where you find your strength. Archangel Michael bids you farewell with this promise: "I will be with you in every battle, in every victory, and in every moment of doubt." You will never walk alone again, because now you know the secret of eternal protection and the power within you. May this message echo in your heart every day of your life, reminding you that you are loved, protected, empowered, and destined for greatness. If these words have deeply touched your soul, and you have felt the love and protection of Archangel Michael surrounding you, I invite you with all my heart to subscribe to this channel of light. Here, you will find a spiritual family that understands your journey, messages that nourish your soul, and a community that celebrates your victories. Share your story of overcoming adversity in the comments. Tell us how this message has impacted your life and what lessons you will carry with you forever. Your experience may be exactly what someone needs to hear today. Together, we are stronger. Together, we shine brighter. Welcome to your new life of victory and protection.